Hello, I'm Jonathan Bear on Facebook, and I'm Mercury's Messenger Astrology on YouTube. I'm here today to talk to you about Uranus and his archetype. I'd like to bring everyone up to date as I feel there's an outdated perspective of Uranus that's still out there uh, with most astrologers. So, first of all, I'm going to start with how Uranus was found, discovered, and whatnot, and I'll basically just share all the information that I could think of and my perspective on Uranus in this video. One of the main reasons why I'm bringing this up to you is Uranus in May 15th, is changing signs, and it's a pretty big thing going on in the it's a huge event, and a lot of people that aren't that familiar with astrology are even taking note due to our economic situation. So, yeah, Uranus. He is one of the more recent planets to be discovered. Uh, I don't remember the dates and all that. I'm just going off memory here. But he was discovered by an amateur using a telescope. So he was the first planet to be discovered using a telescope. Before that, we had the traditional planets, Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, Mars, Venus. These were basically the known planets in ancient astrology. All, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto were not able to be seen with the naked eye. So Uranus, out of these outer planets, Uranus was the first one to be discovered. And he was discovered by an amateur using a telescope. And at the time, this amateur approached his scholars, his peers, and told them, I think I've discovered a new planet. And they all laughed at him. Their education told them it was impossible. And so they just basically shut him up. But he then managed to prove that Uranus was actually there. When he did, those scholars who laughed at him actually then went and looked at their information, and for years their information has been pointing out that there is something there, yet their egos could not allow them to see this planet, and it took an amateur to bring it into our world. And at the time, this amateur named Uranus after the king. I can't remember which king, it was, but anyhow, that king named that astronomer, named that man who discovered Uranus, the head court astronomer, which is quite a jump in class, for someone who was just an amateur and is now the head in his field, basically, from this discovery. So here's this contributes to some of Uranus's traits on shock, because it was shocking, the information that this guy was bringing about. Change, quite the change. He went from basically a regular nobody to a well respected astronomer. And the other thing is, it was the first planet to be discovered with an invention. So Uranus has something to do with innovative inventions. So Where do I want to go now? So basically, I covered that part. Oh yeah, the king uh, didn't. He was uh, grateful that the this guy wanted to name the planet after him, but the king chose to keep it with Greek mythology and named it after the original sky god Uranus. Okay, so where do I want to go now? I guess I'm gonna go with what most people claim Uranus to be, or do I want to go with the symbol? Let's here. I'm gonna go with the original one because my mind's more ready for that than breaking down the symbol at the moment. So Uranus is known as the rebel and the revolutionary, um, which I'm not going to argue. I do agree that those elements are affiliated with Uranus, but he's not the rebel and he's not the revolutionary. He is the idea behind the movement. He is the movement. And good thing I went this way because the sign kind of falls into play here, right? Uranus's sign is the two wavy lines, the movement. That symbolizes waves or basically movement. And the reason why I say idea is because if we follow the ages move backwards in the zodiac. So it would be Neptune, Aquarius, um, Capricorn, Scorpio, Sagittarius, so on and so on. Now, first is I said Neptune, Pisces, ruled by Neptune, and Pisces is water, but is more so ether. Neptune rules the ether. So the void, you can look at it as the void. When that's all there was the void. Out of the void came the idea, which is Uranus. From the idea came structure, which was Saturn, and then after that Jupiter. The structure limited us too much, so Jupiter expanded this, and so on. You could look at all the planets, and they all make sense, or all the signs, they all make sense how they develop in this way. So he is the movement, and he is the idea. Out of movements come rebellions, comes the revolution. But this is a lower energy of Uranus. Uranus is pushing for the highest, and the highest is our evolution, is the the biggest idea concept that you could think of and reach for is what Uranus is trying to unveil. Now, often, almost always, there is going to be a rebellion and a revolution in these Uranus transits and aspects or whatnot when he changes signs or anything like that. So that's why there's that confusion about him being the rebel and the revolutionary. He's evolving us. He's the evolutionary, not the revolutionary. He doesn't try to revolve, repeat. He tries to bring us to the next level. And that's an idea that I really want to push with Uranus. Now, Uranus, May 15th, is changing into the sign of Taurus. Taurus rules value. And the last time Uranus was in Taurus was in something like 1933. In 1933, that was the Great Depression. And it's where the economy collapsed. But the good way to look at it is commodity became uh, more valuable than money. You know, people traded with cigarettes and whatnot, and so um, commodity is possibly soon to come again to be more valuable than currency. Now, a little warning: Uranus moves into Taurus. He will go retrograde in Taurus and will kind of hop back into Aries again for a very short period before finally going into Taurus and staying there. So, you know, um, there is a transitional point. You know, it's not like we're only going to get hit once with this. He's going to go across this 3 times, you know, forward, backwards, and then forward again. The one last thing I want to mention, I'm not going to mention this to scare anyone. I'm just going to mention this uh, to show what kind of shocking impact Uranus can actually have. So, the day that Uranus moved into the sign he is now, Aries, is the day that the Fukushima power plants exploded. Um, so, you know, big things can happen, big shocking things can happen with Uranus. Now, there was one other thing actually that I wanted to bring, and this is just speculation. I'm not saying anything concrete about this. This is my own speculation on um, even a channel I'm subscribed to, Amerishima, uh, kind of got me thinking about this, and that's you know, he Amerishima was mentioning how you know, the age of Pisces with baptism, and before that, Aries, we had the fireworks uh, and stuff like that. But now we're moving into Aquarius, and there's the wavy lines, right? And Uranus rules electricity or power, you know, not like power like like a government body power, but power like energy power. And so you could look when he moved into Aries, the Fukushima disaster, radiation, nuclear power is basically one of is our, as far as I know, is our biggest power generating source at the moment. You know, science is working on some other stuff. I'm not sure what developments are there. Nonetheless, on the day he changed signs, the Fukushima, his symbol Aquarius is the wavy lines. He's an air sign. We're moving into air magic. So what is this air magic? You know, and I'm starting to actually think it has everything to do with radiation. Chemotherapy is, you know, I don't know what the stats are, but it seems to me like if you don't have cancer nowadays, or you haven't, you know, had some removed or something like that, that you're one of the odd ones out. So it's seeming like more and more and more people are getting chemotherapy, radiation therapy. And something else that I learned from Amarashima, uh, his video "Fun with Doom" or something like that, about the incoming radiation with the solar minimums and maximums. More radiation is even coming through our atmosphere, and this is why our planet is heating up. Not so much because of human impact uh, on our planet, right? So, anyhow, I think I'm gonna end my video here. I kind of enjoyed doing this. I haven't done a video in a long time. I'm actually at a friend's house with Wi-Fi, so I decided to do this because actually I live rural. I'm off grid. I don't have Wi-Fi at home, um, so that's one of the main reasons why I don't have as big of a YouTube presence as I'd like. Hopefully that'll change. Anyhow, thanks for the shout out, Amarashima. Um, I'm gonna try and put a link to his page below, and thanks for watching. Cheers.